John Wayne Walding, Army Green Beret, Silver Star recipient, and he has the bottom portion of his right leg missing.
Well, I tell everybody you should see the other guy. Right? Don't worry about my legs. Look at the other guy.
And that's the right way to be. And I mean, you were in a really rough battle for like 6.5 hours, Afghanistan.
Actually, I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
So.
No one ever trains that, hey, let's train for when I get my leg shot off and keep fighting.
Right.
But there's a certain sense of lean forward and fight hard that every Green Beret has, that no matter what happens, you still got to accomplish the mission. That's what we just did is, you know, I got shot and I was just hanging by an inch of flesh. And whenever I got, I saw what had happened, I kept thinking to myself, well, I just got to splint it, you know? So I'd grab my leg and I just turned it into my thigh. Yeah. You know, that's where I had it right there after I put my tourniquet on. And you just keep fighting because, you know, feeling sorry for yourself is not going to get the job done. You know, keeping their head down and eliminating the enemy, that's what's going to get your job done. And your brothers to the left and right, to be honest, you know, the first and foremost, they're the reason why I got through there, is thinking about them, and I can't quit on my boys, and so that's what I thought about, and just again, you can't let it beat you, you have to beat it, and again, 6.5 hours later, we won. I tell everybody, you know, 10 Green Berets went up against 250 insurgents, and we won.
And I mean, just amazing. You have been there, you have been tested. A lot of us like to believe that if that happens, we can step up. You know you can.
Right.
You know, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty cool to know whatever you face in life for the rest of your time, that you've been in the worst of circumstances and you stepped up and you got it done.
Well, you owe it to the fallen to live well. That's something that I make sure that everybody knows is that I'm no hero. The people that made it home didn't make it home. They're the heroes. The men and women that died on the battlefield, they're the heroes. They gave the ultimate sacrifice. I'm just a patriot that served my country, and I owe it to them to live well. You know, they don't have the choice to come back, you know, to America and have great days like we had today, shooting guns and being American, right? So because of that, we had to live you know, every day is precious, every breath is precious, every moment is precious, and we owe it to them to make every one of those awesome.
Right, and it's awesome, and part of your successful life is making guns for free Americans. Five Toes Custom. So you're making some super cool rifles.
Right, well, after, you know, post-injury, I kept going and I kept trying to get as physically fit as I can. And one of the things I did was I went through sniper school, and I became the first amputee to ever graduate Special Forces sniper school. That's awesome. And it really was, you know, it was the hardest thing I ever did, obviously, you know, having 5 toes. And when you did it, it's a great thing. And taking that to the civilian world, that's what I'm trying to do, is teach people the same platforms that we had, the same things that we had to use down as Green Berets. We want, you know, I want them to have them. You know, one thing I like to everybody to know is yeah, I mean, becoming a great, you know, successful citizen. I'm a husband and a father of 4. You know, so I'm doing a great job, and I look like I'm okay, you know. But my business partner, David Fairty, he was the one that helped me start all this, and we were out speaking one day, and he said, you know, John looks okay, but he's not. And that kind of struck a chord with me, you know, and I was like, hey, who the hell are you talking to? You know?
Telling me I'm not right.
John, well, I'm all right, you know, and then I realized, you know what, I'm not all right. You know, I lost my leg. Every step hurts. Every moment that I have to think about how are you going to take the next step, that sucks, you know. Not being able to walk, that sucks. Mentally, I have to deal with PTSD. I have to deal with, you know, depression of not having this stuff. I'm not okay. But it's the Americans that whenever I got back, that gave me that bear hug and said, you know what, man, it's worth it. You know, that's what makes it okay. That's why I do this. You know, it's that mental validation. You know, Vietnam guys, they didn't get that. Their sacrifice wasn't validated. You know, if you go and you do all these stuff for your country, lose your leg for your country, and you get back and you get spit on, everything that you did was for nothing. You know, and so that's why you go crazy, and that's why, you know, you had the problems you did. But now, you know, I'm a country boy, so I tell everybody I got a bear hug, you know. And that's the sacrifice is validated, and you know, having people like yourselves that care enough to have a little redneck from Groesbeck, Texas, out here
making
you know,
some really cool guns. And speaking of the guns, and that is great that you're able to say that after all you've been through and after all your friends have been through. So that makes me, as an American, feel very good.
The idea of my company is to be a place where wounded vets can come. Because like we discussed before, you know, 22 vets a day roughly commit suicide because of PTSD and problems coming, transitioning back, and when you know, I firsthand felt that problem. Whenever you get back, you feel like Captain Jack Sparrow, where that compass is spinning. You don't know the right direction. And so that's what I want to do, is provide a direction. You know, and I got a brother of mine, Brady Cervantes, we call him Tatanka because he's Mexican Indian, and he's a great guy, but he's a Marine Scout sniper, so, you know, he's coming in to do the training side. You know, so we're going to start doing, well, I tell everybody, we're going to sell a relationship rather than a rifle, to where
Nice.
you buy the gun, we'll teach you how to
That
shoot
is
it,
cool.
teach you how to maintain it, because that's what it's all about. It's
Yeah.
not just getting the guns out there, but it's educating the people the correct way to use the
Sure.
gun.